Adam and Eve have eaten from the tree. They have loincloths on made of fig leaves. They're hiding from God, and God has been addressing the serpent about the gospel of their salvation. Now let's use our modern minds and all that we learn in our modern world, which is so intelligent and sophisticated, so much better than, church fathers. They're just so smart. And using our modernness and all that we've developed and grown, because, everything's always advancing, civilization's advancing, we're always getting better and better and more good, right? I mean, we see that all around us in all of our institutions. And what gospel do these two need? What do they need? Again, from all of our modern education and sophistication and entertainment and what everything's we're being told now, what gospel do they need? What do they need in the garden? What have they done? They're standing there. They got their loincloths on. There's no disparity between them. There's no socioeconomic imbalance at all between them. There's no racism at all in the world right now. None. Adam and Eve, no racism. No sexism in the world. Adam has equally thrown Eve under the bus. Eve has followed the example of her husband and done the same thing. No phobias whatsoever. Nobody's using that kind of language. There's no bullying in the world. There's not a single homeless person in the world. There's no injustice at all. There's none. There's no unemployment. There's perfect equity with access to education and to health care and to government programs and jobs. They have all of that. There's no unequal distribution of goods. There's no privilege. There's no bad things happened to me in my past that didn't happen to you. There's no environmental harm. There's not a single fossil fuel vehicle in the world. Not one. Nobody has a single tiniest carbon footprint yet. Nothing. Everything's green energy right now. 100% green energy in the garden. And everything's organic. 100% at this point in time. There's not a single illegal alien being denied anything. Not one in the whole world. Think of it. This is the world that they have at that moment. Nobody's using the phrase illegal to describe another person. No gas stoves. Just think of it, beloved. Each according to his ability, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. There's no private ownership. They all own everything perfectly together. It's all theirs. What in the world do they need salvation from? What do they need salvation from? Tell me. You know what they need? They need God to get off their backs a little. They need him to get out of their way. They need him to give them a little sympathy, maybe a little help, maybe sharing some of his stuff a little bit. Recognize the difficult situation they're in, that he's put them in, by the way. What's God about to tell them? What's he about to bring into the world? Labor, sweat, pain, sorrow, thorns, thistles, death. That's what he's about to do. Wow. What kind of salvation do they need? You see, when our eyes are like liberal Christianity, by the way, this is the 100th anniversary year of J. Gresham Mason's Christianity and Liberalism. It was 1923, 2023. 100th year. He was writing about liberal Christianity, but he called it liberalism and Christianity. I mean, the other way around, but they're two different religions. Because the view that just looks at the problems we have here, the horizontal, that's everything that our world does. And has no concern, that we have offended, that we have transgressed, that we have broken the law, that we have sinned against the most holy, the most perfect, the most beautiful being, and the most important thing is how in the world can we be reconciled to him? But that's not the he gets us Jesus, is it? Try to be a better person. Be good to one another. Beloved, that's the law. We already have that. We're already supposed to obey the law. That's not salvation. Salvation is somebody comes and takes the wrath of God that you and I should have, that we deserve. Absolutely. The idea of the world, the liberal church, that we're victims, that we're sympathetic, that we're pitiable, suffering from some cruel world that God made, and we just need and desire help. The Bible's picture is that we are rebels. We are sinful, prideful, deicidal rebels, corrupting God's perfect creation, and we need and deserve hell. And that's what Jesus came to take away from us. That's the message of salvation. The